YouTube, Awesome Writer here. Welcome to my review for BoonBoomger episode 10. This should be a relatively short review as this was a pretty much run-of-the-mill filler episode. It was enjoyable enough, nothing too special to write home about, nothing awful either, but probably the least eventful in my opinion as we're sort of settled into the status quo. And I do have a very small, probably too early concern about that, but I'll talk about that at the end. But the main gist of the episode is you have Gunba making a delivery of this supposed unstable energy source, and you have Pink tagging along, and everyone else is busy with this thing called Children's Day, which I don't know, I thought was weird. And you have Joe doing the most, like, too much for me. I'm still just not a fan of his performance. It's just too cartoony. It doesn't make him feel like a real person, but that's enough bashing on him. He's not going to become the new Hotaro for sure. Kind of off being busy, and so it kind of focuses on Genba and Pink, and I don't know if you can tell, but I can't remember Pink's name at the moment. That's the beauty of Sentai, is they have them color-coded, so when I inevitably forget their names because I don't care about learning them, I can just call them by color. Anyway, I have to say, one thing that's interesting is I found this kind of similar. It didn't go all the way, but it kind of reminded me of the structure of some Dawn Brothers episodes where you would have an episode that focused on maybe 1, 2, 3 of the cast members and the others barely would show up. That ended up being a little bit different here because they wound up showing up at the end and being part of the episode, but I kind of liked that. As much as I do kind of appreciate some of the back-to-basic aspects of the classic Sentai stuff, which I do have a positive about that in this episode, I also liked some of the unique structure of that, and it would be nice to see BoonBoomger or another Sentai series have stuff like that, where you have maybe an episode that's very classic Sentai feeling, but then maybe an episode where you might just focus on 2 cast members, like maybe an Orange and Black team-up, called Orange is the New Black, put on Netflix. Maybe just an episode with the original trio. I kind of liked that, and it was overall fun, some nice little chemistry between the characters. The main point of it, I guess, was that Genba, I guess gets satisfaction in watching or helping other people achieve their dreams through being a courier, which is also weird. But he wants to sort of simultaneously find out, what his own passion is, but also better understand his teammates. But it was an overall nice bonding episode for those 2 characters that had a nice moment at the end where he talks about Pink was valuable in the distraction, because you find out that the whole thing was meant to be a distraction while the real delivery was happening, and he's like, you doing the most was really helpful. So yeah, it was overall nice and fun. There's also a fun little villain plot with the characters feeling like, oh, we don't know what to do now, we have to step it up now that Mad Rex is gone, and they feel almost self-conscious about it, and they have this monster that makes things float, hence the probable episode secondary title of this video, which is You'll Float Too. It wasn't very prominent in the episode, but I just wanted to make that reference because I really like the It movies. Anyway, as always, some fun action. I continue to find the action to be very slick and memorable. I also really like the way they're almost always using the little tires, whether it's on their back or on their boots and stuff, in fun and unique ways. Fun little mecha fight as well, doing some different formations and stuff like that. Overall, enjoyable stuff. And we end on just kind of a nice scene, like I mentioned, with Orange and Pink and the whole team in general. And I will say that that is something I do like about BoonBoomger in terms of the back-to-basics aspect. Is something I've highlighted from Zenkaiger onwards is I do kind of miss some of those classic team dynamic scenes in Sentai. You know, we did have that to a degree, obviously, in Dawn Brothers and King Oger, but it took a while to get there, and so many the dynamics were different, which, don't get me wrong, I liked, but sometimes you miss that kind of classic camaraderie feel, and because the dynamics of all the kings were different and the Dawn Brothers didn't meet each other until episode 50, you kind of didn't have that as much. So I do appreciate that, as it's kind of got this almost cozy feel to it. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to say. This was an enjoyable episode. I liked it okay. I hope we don't delve too much into only being filler. BoonBoomger is far from the most engaging and serialized show, but it's had a really good balance so far. It's been a fun Sentai watch, but with nice little elements that I've been intrigued by and been enjoying, and I'm not necessarily expecting it to become full-on serialized, but I hope we don't settle into a pattern of it becoming stale. You know, in a way, I feel similar to the series as I did about Zenkaiger in the sense that I was enjoying it for the first quarter far more than I thought, but then I quickly got tired of it, and I'm just hoping that doesn't happen here, and I hope that we pick up introducing a few more things to keep us engaged. Again, too early to worry about it with one filler episode after the introductory arc, but it's just a concern I'm voicing. But that's about it for this one. Until next time, let me know what you thought in the comments about this episode as always. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps to ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. Awesome Writer, signing out.